to labor and was rushed to the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, who finally delivered through cesarean section (CS). After the wife's delivery, the hospital charged them 380,000 naira, which the man couldn't afford due to joblessness. This led well-spirited individuals and Edo State government to come to his rescue. However, Mr. Abdullahi alleged that on the said day the governor was to visit the hospital, the management chased him, the newborn baby, and the mother out of the ward and led them to the office of the CMD, Dr. Darlington Obaseki, and replaced her with one Mercy Akpan, whose bills was offset in his stead.
He said 400,000, I said give them. Yes. Me, I know they are aware of the money. I know not be my account, na government account. They said the money put. I know they are aware. So even though we say the guy call me for no.
Mr. Abdullahi further narrated that he did not get the donations from well-spirited individuals and Edo State government as they were paid into the hospital's accounts directly. He further alleged that 400,000 naira was paid, and Edo State government also sent delegates to the hospital to offset the bills after public outcry, but none of the donations got to Mr. Abdullahi as he offset the bill with his personal money.
Thursday the money, my wife called me. They say they call the meter, they threaten her, saying I will draw their leg come outside. Before you know, as I come outside, I can't go see my baby things and my wife and baby for outside. So already before this, they also collect 40,000 from me. Come make it 240,000.
Reacting to the development, the public relations officer of the hospital, Mr. Joshua Owaila, confirmed that Edo State government actually sent 2 delegates to the hospital. The special advisor to the governor on health matters, Precious Ogboru, and executive assistant James Nokusa visited the mother and her newborn at UBTH to offset the medical bills of the patient. He explained that Mr. Umoru did not follow the procedure initially, but was discharged after he has offset his hospital bill, but could not provide explanation to offsetting Mercy Akpan's bill instead of Umoru Abdullahi, whose bill was to offset by the state government.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if you people go to government house, be able to get your information better. Please, that is the meeting now. If the government house, they find out from there to put things in perspective.
It would be recalled that Fred Itwa, Chief Press Secretary to Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okpebolo, recently released a press statement confirming that Edo State government has paid off the bills of one Mercy Akpan. Meanwhile, Umoru Abdullahi was supposed to be the beneficiary of that gesture. In Benin, Solomon Obozunya, Radio Nigeria.
The Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Abuja, Justice John Seho, says the court is committed to promoting the practice of insolvency in the nation's legal system. He stated this in Abuja at a meeting with the executive members of the Business Recovery and Insolvency Practitioners Association of Nigeria. Justice Seho said the court thought it wise to set up the insolvency unit to save most companies from going into extinction.
In proper practice, companies that are going under should still be managed so that they don't just die out. In the past, once you have a troubled company, people are more interested in rushing at the assets, and before you know it, the company has wound up with devastating effects. People in thousands lose jobs, and it creates a lot of economic crisis.
Justice Seho said insolvency practice is in compliance with the provisions of Companies and Allied Matters Act and also accords with international best practices. The president of Business Recovery and Insolvency Practitioners Association of Nigeria, Mr. Victor Ihekwezu, SAN, said they were at the meeting to congratulate the chief judge on the setting up of the insolvency unit in the court.
We have continued to make efforts to ensure development of the practice of insolvency in Nigeria. And the insolvency has a lot to do with business recovery and reforms. With the enactment of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, a few insolvency options have been added to the existing ones of receivership management liquidation.
Mr. Ihekwezu explained that many initiatives have been introduced into insolvency practice to ensure business rescue and recovery in the country.
A Nigerian women's advocate and trauma recovery leader, Dr. Rebecca Dali, has called for a national action against violence and terrorism, stressing the long-term impact of insecurity on women and children in conflict zones across the country. Dr. Dali, who is the Executive Director of Center for Caring, Empowerment and Peace Initiatives, made the call in Abuja during the launch of her book, which examines the long-term impact of violence against women and decades of suffering in Nigeria. Dr. Dali, who has spent years supporting women who have lost families to Boko Haram attacks, noted that while some government agencies and NGOs were working in trauma management, their efforts were not sufficient. She stressed the need for properly trained personnel and increased collaboration for vocational training, trauma recovery, and psychosocial support.
I have a story of uncountable families that only the mom or the daughter or only single person all wipe out. And some of them without help from the government, they cannot survive. We need the government to support us so that we will support the women.
The book reviewer, Professor Umar Damfulani of the Department of Religion and Philosophy, University of Jos, commended the publication for its rigorous research and first-hand documentation of survival stories.
What we expect a Nigerian graduate is to have a broad-based awareness of things that are happening within the immediate vicinity, notwithstanding whether you came out from the sciences, natural science, the arts.
Former board chairman of the Northeast Development Commission, retired General Paul Tafa, also endorsed the book, describing it as a critical tool for informing government policies related to women and children in conflict zones. He urged Nigerian youth to develop a culture of reading, stressing that literature like Dr. Dali's offers deep insight into national issues and the resilience of affected communities.
The Nigerian Army has expressed concern over the poor enlistment of youths in the military service in the Southeast Zone, particularly in Enugu State, and called for attitudinal change to reverse the trend. The Army made the call during an enlightenment and town hall meeting with local government chairmen, traditional rulers, presidents general of town unions, some members of the State Executive Council, as well as leaders of thought in Enugu. The leader of the 2025 Army Recruitment Enlightenment Team, Brigadier General Chima Ikato, who visited Enugu, regretted that the people of the Southeast Zone were losing what rightly belonged to them, as slots allocated to the Southeast were rarely filled.
And there are a lot of young men that really want to join the army. But for some of these sentiments being bandied around, some of them lack encouragement from the local government councils. We have come to get the buy-in of the grassroots politicians, our royal fathers, to help us to raise these numbers so that Enugu State can fill up their slots.
In their remarks, the chairman of Udi and Igboeze South Council areas, Mr. Hygienus Agu and Ferdinand Ukweze, called on the military high command to address numerous concerns of the people to make service more appealing to the youths.
Before now, our people used to think that joining army is of no benefit to our people. But with the message we got today, the sky is going to be our starting point. We are going to make sure that we deliver this message to the 583 communities that we have in Enugu State.
Other stakeholders who spoke at the event, including the traditional ruler of Nome Unateze, Lieutenant Colonel Israel Mba, retired, and the state coordinator of President's General of Town Unions in Enugu State, Mr. Renzi Obudu, urged the youths to enlist in the army, but stressed the need for more sensitization.
The Republic of Tunisia has expressed interest in establishing cultural and tourism relations with Nigeria. The ambassador of Tunisia to Nigeria, Moshen Antit, made this known during a visit to the Minister of Art, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musa Musawa, in Abuja. Ambassador Antit said Tunisia had advanced in medical facilities and expertise, making it as an attractive destination for medical tourism in Africa. In her response, the Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musa Musawa, thanked the ambassador for his visit and expressed enthusiasm about the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which prioritizes economic growth through art, culture and creative economy.
Sports news is next. Former governor of Old Anambra State, Chief Jim Obodo, urges federal government to immortalize Christian Chukwu, care for ex-players as Aston Villa and Borussia Dortmund must overcome first-leg defeats if they are to reach the Champions League semi-finals. And for more sports, let's join Annabelle Okweri for
A former governor of Old Anambra State and former Minister of Youth and Sports, Senator Jim Nwobodo, has called on the federal government to immortalize late Super Eagles coach Christian Chukwu and provide better care for former athletes who served the country. Nwobodo made the appeal yesterday during a condolence visit to Chukwu's family in Enugu. Nwobodo said Christian Chukwu was a soccer star who was a disciplined and committed member of Rangers and who served Nigeria and the Southeast selflessly. However, Nwobodo lamented that these patriotic Nigerians have been let down and abandoned by the country, and appreciating these individuals while they are alive would encourage others to give their best. Nwobodo also suggested instituting an endowment fund in Chukwu's honor and honoring ex-Rangers players who made significant contributions to Nigerian football. Nasarawa United players have been rewarded with 3.5 million naira for their matchday 33 victory over Plateau United. Goals from Anas Yusuf and Ugochukwu Leonard gave the Solid Miners a 3-2 win over the Peace Boys at the Lafia City Stadium. Governor Abdullahi Sule and the State Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Kwanta Yakubu, doled out the cash gifts to the players after the game on Sunday. The announcement of the cash gifts is contained in a statement signed by the Director of Media of the club, H.A. Amos. Sule praised the players for the clean win and their conduct throughout the match and also promised more gifts for each of the team's wins. Nasarawa United moved to 14th position on the league table, having garnered 42 points from 33 matches. They will take on Benden Insurance in their next league game on Saturday. In athletics, the future of athletics in Nigeria is gradually changing after many years of underdevelopment. This was the submission of the founder and CEO of Making of Champions, Bambo Akoni, at the just concluded Champs Continental Relays in Lagos. Akoni, who is also a member of the Elite Athletes Development and Podium Board, constituted by the National Sports Commission to create a sustainable system for elite athletes and their welfare, said his passion has always been to see Nigeria win medals at the Olympic Games. Akoni, whose outfit MOC has produced great track and field stars for the nation since Team Nigeria's disastrous outing at the London 2012 Olympics, said his appointment would give him the opportunity to fish out more medal-winning athletes for the country.
We've been in doldrums, haven't we, for the last 10 to 15 years, but things are improving. We have a great critical mass of very promising athletes preparing for LA 2028, and the work we're doing at the grassroots with MTM Champs and the work we're also doing for the elites and the work I'm going to do with the National Sports Commission, I'm very confident that we can have an ambitious target. We can go for somewhere in the region of 5 to 10 medals at the next Olympics. If we do the right things for the next 3-4 years, we will be in the mix for several medals in relays, some individual events as well, and we can use it as a catalyst to transform the sport in Nigeria.
Among the athletes brought to limelight through Akoni's MOC are Favor Ashe, who is currently the country's fastest sprinter, and 400-meter star Emmanuel Ojeli, a two-time Olympian. Aston Villa's first UEFA Champions League campaign is in the balance as 2020 runners-up Paris Saint-Germain come to Birmingham with a 3-1 advantage for the second leg of the quarter-final at 8 p.m. Unai Emery's side struck first at the Parc des Princes on April 9, Morgan Rogers giving them a 35th minute lead, only for Desiree Doué to level 4 minutes later. Kivika Kvaratskhelia put Paris in front 4 minutes after halftime, and the newly crowned French champions stretched their advantage through Nuno Mendes 2 minutes into added time. While the English club are in the last 8 of the European Cup for the first time since exiting the stage as holders in 1982-83, Paris have made it this far for the 4th time in 6 seasons and have won their last 3 quarter-final ties. Meanwhile, Borussia Dortmund succumbed to a masterful attacking display in Barcelona, a pair of goals from their former star Robert Lewandowski in between Rafinha and Lamine Yamal finishes, leaving them 4-0 down ahead of the home leg. Outmaneuvered by Hansi Flick, his assistant coach at Bayern in 2019, Niko Kovac, is hoping to rebuild his team's confidence ahead of the second leg. The first leg provided plenty of evidence to confirm that this is one fearsome Barcelona attack. Champions League top scorer Rafinha popped in his 12th of the season. Lewandowski scored his 105th goal in his 131st appearance in the competition, and Lamine Yamal at 17 became the second youngest scorer in quarterfinal history. Can Dortmund turn things around? We'll find out at 8 p.m. And that's our package on Sports News this morning. I'm Annabelle Okweri.
Next is the commentary, and it's on regulating the nation's social media space. It is written by Dr. Teso Shaminja, a criminologist at the Benue State University, Makurdi.
The rise of social media has brought about a plethora of benefits, including increased connectivity, access to information, and a platform for self-expression. The benefits of social media to Nigerian youths and students include serving as viable platforms for connectivity and networking, access to information and education, self-expression and creative skills, as well as social mobilization and activism. Indeed, youths can utilize these benefits for their personal and career lives to contribute positively to the development of the society. The coming on board of social media birthed the era of content creation, which refers to the process of providing and sharing valuable, relevant, and consistent information to attract and retain a clearly defined audience. The goal of content creation is ultimately to drive profitable customer action, build brand awareness, and establish purposeful leadership. It is instructive to note that positive content creation on social media includes inspirational stories, quotes and images, heartwarming videos, motivational posts, educational content, personal development and self-care tips, as well as community development initiatives and events. Recently, the use of negative, indecent behaviors and vulgar language on social media platforms in the name of content creation has been in vogue among Nigerian youths. The negative content creation, on the other side, has to do with the production, dissemination of uncultured, harmful, offensive or disturbing content, which include hate speech and cyberbullying, vulgar, obscene and explicit content, fake news and misinformation, online harassment and stalking, among others. Sadly, in recent times, several examples abound where youths, including minors, in the name of content creation to get more followers on their social media handles, perpetually showcase nude photos and vulgar language. Some youths without moral rectitude shamelessly discussed their sexual relationships and escapades, and in some instances, the abominable acts such as homosexuality and lesbianism are openly discussed and promoted recklessly. This growing culture violates the basic customary principles and values of morality, decorum, decency, respect, self-worth, and human dignity that characterize all ethnic groups in the Nigerian society. Indeed, this ugly trend, if not checked, poses a significant threat to the nation's moral fabric and societal values. The impact of this culture on youths cannot be overstated, as we now see increased emulation to such content, leading to the normalization of deviant behavior, desensitization to moral values, and a distorted view of relationships and intimacy. Furthermore, this trend also reflects the decay in customary and moral values, as well as the breakdown of traditional institutions that once held the society together. Additionally, social media platforms need to take more stringent measures to regulate and remove explicit content from their sites. This can also be achieved through training specialists in indigenous languages to help monitor people who disguise in native languages to promote indecent content on social media. Furthermore, the government needs to take a more proactive approach to regulating social media content and enforcing existing laws and regulations, especially on issues of indecent behaviors and vulgarity. The Nigerian youths are enjoined to take advantage of the numerous opportunities created by social media for personal development and career pursuit, rather than indulging in negative content creation. The growing culture of negative, indecent behaviors, and vulgar social media content creation in Nigeria is a ticking time bomb that needs to be urgently addressed.
That commentary on regulating the nation's social media space was written by Dr. Teso Shaminja and read by Fubara People.
Next is Cyberscope, bringing you trends shaping conversations across Nigeria's social media space. The The tragic killings in Plateau State continue to dominate conversations on social media, especially on X. The recent massacre, which claimed the lives of over 50 people, has sparked widespread outrage. Netizens are once again calling for an immediate end to the incessant violence plaguing the state, demanding justice and accountability from those in power.
That's correct. A lot of things are happening there. Meanwhile, in Benue State, political tension is brewing. Governor Hyacinth Alia recently declared that all visitors must notify authorities before entering the state. This statement comes just ahead of a planned visit by Peter Obi, triggering widespread speculation. Many Nigerians believe that the directive is a veiled attempt to frustrate the former presidential candidate's visit. Critics argue that such a move goes against the very essence of democracy and free movement.
Over now to the world of entertainment. Will Portable ever take a break from police drama? The controversial singer has found himself behind bars yet again, this time over a defamation petition filed by Fuji music legend Saheed Osupa. According to reports, Portable allegedly made defamatory statements against Osupa and has since been remanded at the Oke Correctional Center in Ilorin after failing to meet his bail conditions. Fans are reacting with a mix of concern and amusement as Portable's run-ins with the law become an almost regular affair.
And yes, the drama on Instagram is hot. Two popular Yoruba actresses, Laida Bakare and Aniola Batmos, are currently setting the gram ablaze with their back-and-forth online feud. The clash reportedly started at a movie premiere over the weekend, where the two exchanged words. Since then, both actresses have been throwing shade and calling each other out in a messy social media shutdown that fans can't stop talking about. And that's all for this morning. Stay connected with Radio that is with us at Radio Nigeria and join the conversation using hashtag Cyberscope for more update. Cyberscope today was compiled by Omolola Amin.
And for news making the headlines and the national dailies, it's time now for newspaper headlines, and we kick off for the blueprint. Above the nameplates, we have this headline: Niger Delta, troops nab 28 suspects, foil re-establishment of bankrent size. And the banner headline here reads: PDP governors rock Atiku's 2027 ambition, oppose coalition. With his riders, rejects Anyao, named Deputy National Secretary ascribe, fix neck for May 27. Ex-VP Bala's children trade words over parents' ambition. Another headline here reads: building $1 trillion economy requires planning, clear policy direction. That's coming from CBN. You can read it up on page 10 of the blueprint. And government kill 47 in Plateau, fresh attacks. PLSG urges caution. Clerics kick over arrest of youth linked to ISWAP. And finally, from the blueprint, we have institutions conniving with banks to shortchange now fund beneficiaries. That's coming from NOA. You can read up the details on page 6 of the blueprint. And from the world of sports, you have immortalized chairman Chukwu Ikpea tells NFF. Check it out on page 12.
All right, let's quickly look at the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust has this bold headline: bloodletting continues in Plateau State, 49 killed in fresh attack. This is really disheartening. 4 trillion naira debt, blackout looms as Gencos threatens shutdown. And then we can equally look at this one: Rivers emergency rule, court order service on Tinubu Ibas Fubara. The Daily Trust also has this headline: gunmen abduct worshippers on Lokoja Mountain. And then PDP governors meet, reject coalition, propose NEC for May 27, convention August 28. How rejection could affect Atiku. This is according to Professor Kari. You may pick up the Daily Trust for details.
On the last paper here is Vanguard, and we have these headlines. We kick off for the big one. Plateau, Benue killings. Governor Alia threatens Tinubu gives Muchwang marching orders. You can read it up on page 5. And above the nameplates, we need strong Brazilian banks to achieve $1 trillion economy that's coming from CBN 2027. Why our party won't join any coalition merger, PDP governors say. And that's it for newspaper headlines this morning.
Yes, we now tell you the weather forecast. Sunny and hazy skies are expected across the northern region with prospects of afternoon and evening thunderstorms over parts of Kaduna, Taraba and Adamawa State. Sunny skies with patches of clouds are also expected across the north central region with prospects of thunderstorms over parts of Kogi, the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa, Kwara, Plateau and Benue States during and the afternoon and evening hours. In the southern region, cloudy skies with intervals of sunshine are anticipated with prospects of morning thunderstorms over parts of Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Cross River State. In the afternoon/evening hours, thunderstorms are also expected over parts of the southern regions. And that's weather forecast.
Now to end the news, here is a recap of the major stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called African countries to embrace innovative strategies to tackle the continent's irrigation and water management crisis. The Plateau State government has condemned in strong terms another attack on Zike and Kemakpa communities of Kwal districts in Niango, Basa local government area of the state. PDP governors have rejected forming coalition with any political party ahead of 2027 general election. We also informed you that the husband of a patient at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, UBTH, Mr. Umaru Abdullahi, has accused the hospital of diverting money donated by well-spirited individuals and Edo State government to offset the wife's medical bills.
And that's the news, edited by Stanley Mosu and the production team. I am Ovie Kuje.
rédíò Amuludun rẹ́ta ni ò tí mọ̀ rédíò tó gbalẹ̀ tó ti gbà lúkà àkìrì gbogbo ni wọ́n ti ń gbọ́ wa tẹ̀gàn ló kù sẹ́ rédíò Amuludun yìí wájú 99.1 ni rédíò Amuludun FM Moniya ní Ibadan la ń gbé ti mú gbogbo ìlú dùn àwa ni bó jẹ́ tètò àtìròyìn tó kúrẹ́rẹ́ gbọ́ rédíò Amuludun ń Ìbàdàn.
hallelujah jésù kú ó sì jíǹde lọ́jọ́ kẹta gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe wí ìdí nìyí tí iléeṣẹ́ Amuludun 99.1 FM Moniya Ìbàdàn ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ayẹyẹ àjíǹde Easter cantata pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ kan ẹ̀ka ti ìjọba àbílẹ̀ Akínyẹlé lọ́jọ́ Monday ọjọ́ 21 oṣù kẹrin ọdún 2025 April 21 2025 bẹ̀rẹ̀ láago kan ọ̀sán 1 p.m. lórí pápá ìṣeré Amuludun 99.1 FM Ìbàdàn gbogbo ènìyàn ni à ń retí láti ṣàjọyọ̀ ikú àti àjíǹde Jésù nípa orin kíkọ ìdíje nínú bíbélì choreography àti eré orí ìtàgé lára àwọn àlejò pàtàkì ọjọ́ náà ni Honorable Olúṣẹ́gun Ọláyíwọlá Ọ̀yọ́ State Commissioner for Establishment and Training Honorable Wọlé Akínlẹ̀yẹ Executive Chairman Akínyẹlé Local Government His Royal Majesty Ọba James Ọ̀dẹ́níran Alákínyẹlé ti ìlú Akínyẹlé àwọn ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run alààyè ìgbìmọ̀ ayẹyẹ àjíǹde Easter cantata 2025 lábẹ́ alága wọn Pastor Mrs. Anu Olúwafámísìn olùgbàlejò àgbà ọjọ́ náà ni Reverend SP Àjàsá Can Chairman Akínyẹlé Local Government àti alàgbà Stephen Agbaje General Manager Amuludun 99.1 FM ẹ má gbàgbé o lọ́jọ́ Monday ọjọ́ 21 oṣù kẹrin ọdún 2025 April 21 2025 ní dédé aago kan ọ̀sán 1 p.m. ní pápá ìṣeré Amuludun fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ pè 08034333881 tàbí 08030729065 Jésù ń retí rẹ o.
gbogbo ayé ẹgbọ́n rédíò gbogbo ayé ẹgbọ́n rédíò kò ṣe tètè kì í sàn gbogbo ayé ẹgbọ́n rédíò.
Amuludun FM 99.1 ni gbogbo ayé ń gbọ́ ẹ̀yin náà máa gbọ́.
jẹ́ ìwọ mọ̀ dí tí ṣiṣẹ́ òfin kúrò nínú ìṣẹ́ tíran kan fi ń ṣẹrú ìran kan tíran mẹ̀kúnnù ń fagbára ṣiṣẹ́ láì móríbọ́ nínú ìṣẹ́ tíran bọ̀rọ̀ kìíní ń rọrọ̀ láì ṣiṣẹ́ agbára irú ìlànà òṣèlú wo là ń lò lórílẹ̀‐èdè tíran mẹ̀kúnnù fi dìde láì ṣe pé kò sí nǹkan tó lè gbé wọn dìde kí ló dé tó jẹ́ pé àwọn tí wọ́n yan mẹ̀kúnnù jẹ àti ìlànà tí wọ́n fi ń yan mẹ̀kúnnù jẹ ni mẹ̀kúnnù ń gbé lárugẹ ẹni àìgbọ́pa ló pọ̀ ẹni ọgbọ́pa ò tó nǹkan wàyí o àsìkò ti tó fáwọn mẹ̀kúnnù láti gbé ọgbọ́n kalẹ̀ káwòye sí n tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ìyànnànà amòye Bọ́lá Sidik lórí ètò ìlanilọ́yẹ̀ tá a pe àkọlé rẹ̀ ní àpérò mẹ̀kúnnù níbi tí ó ti máa pàdé amòye Bọ́lá Sidik àtàwọn mẹ̀kúnnù onílàákàyè tí wọ́n máa la àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù lọ́yẹ̀ nípa òṣèlú ìdàgbàsókè àtàròjinlẹ̀ tá a fi ń ṣèlú tìlú fi ń gún tìlú fi ń ga táwọn ìran mẹ̀kúnnù ó fi bọ́ nínú ìlànà ìṣèjọba ìmúnisìn àtàwọn olóṣèlú afẹ̀tànmúnisìn ẹ̀yin mẹ̀kúnnù ẹ̀tọ́ yín ogún ìpín yín kọ́kọ́rọ́ ọ̀nà àbáyọ yín máa gbafẹ́fẹ́ lórí ìkànnì Amúlùdùn rédíò Nàìjíríà 99.1 FM Ìbàdàn gbogbo ọjọ́rú Wednesday láàrin aago 9 sí 10 alẹ́ fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ máa polówó ọjà àti ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ ṣonígbọ̀wọ́ ètò ẹ pè sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 08085682103 àpérò mẹ̀kúnnù yìí ìpín mẹ̀kúnnù ni.